A new engine had arrived on the railroad. He wasn't like a steam engine at all. He was even different from the diesels. His name was Donovan. When he arrived, the other engines gave him curious looks. Heh, Donovan thought. They've never seen an engine like me. Just wait until I show them what I can do. Soon he got his chance. Several people from the railroad board came to see him, and his engineer introduced Donovan. "This is one of our new gas turbine electric locomotives," he said. "He is not like a steam or diesel engine. His wheels are turned by electricity, which is generated by a big fan, known as a turbine." The board members excitedly took notes and photographs. Donovan smiled contentedly. "I am something to see," he thought happily. "It could take 2, 3, or even 4 diesels to match even the smallest steam engine, but a single turbine locomotive can easily do it. To demonstrate, we will now be taking a fully loaded train over the mountains without helper engines. We have brought along a coach for you all. Please board, and we'll begin." The board members hurried onto the coach, and Donovan was coupled up. "Are you ready?" asked his engineer. "I was built ready," he replied. His turbine hummed, then roared as it turned faster and faster. His wheels began to turn, and the train followed him out of the yard. The demonstration went spectacularly. The board members were very impressed. Donovan returned to the yard quite full of himself. There was a fuel tank next to the coaling tower. As Donovan rolled towards it, he noticed a steam engine taking on coal and water. It was David, just returned from his work far away. Donovan cringed as he saw coal dust swirling about. "Keep that dirty stuff to yourself. I don't want my air intakes to get clogged." "And just who are you?" Donovan saw a perfect chance to brag. "I'm Donovan, the turbine engine. I'm what's going to replace you old coffee kettles." "Coffee kettles?" David spluttered. "Who do you think you are to be saying that?" "I am the future of the railroad. You steam engines are no good anymore, and someday soon you'll all be just a memory. If any of you are left, all you'll be good for is museum exhibits." "Come on," said David's engineer. "There's no point in arguing with him." So David fumed away, leaving Donovan very satisfied with himself. David went to collect his next train, but he couldn't stop thinking about how angry he was with Donovan. His sister Hannah had never been so arrogant. In fact, not even Sam had ever been that arrogant. He was so angry that he didn't pay attention to where he was. The first hill outside of the yard is very steep. Trains usually travel at full speed to climb it, but David was too distracted this time. His engineer realized too late and shouted, "David, we'll never make it over the hill at this speed!" David realized his mistake and surged forward, his pistons straining. But it was no good, and the heavy train slowed to a stop. "We'll need help now," said the engineer, and went to call for another engine. When he came back, he had more bad news. "They're sending Donovan to push us." David was upset. He knew Donovan would never stop bragging now. And he was right. "I told you, you're just no good anymore." David said nothing. After that, Donovan's bragging did indeed become worse. He wouldn't stop telling steam engines how old and outdated they were, and that he would replace them someday. David wanted to pay the turbine engine back, so he began making a devious plan.